we're talking about the changes of Pavilion too.
Right. Right. The we weren't about the involvement yet. We were about.
About like kind of like how the dark scene.
Yes.
So I want to go back. Sorry, we're in a new place. We're in the Pavilion DJ booth.
Yeah.
We were talking about involvement of gay nightlife, gay history, dark corners, etc. Things that are important to the gay community. Like I said, I don't know exactly what the 2006 scene was like at Pavilion Night, but I know 2017 was a little bit different. It was a little slower because people's reaction to the new design of the Pavilion.
And what were people's reaction? Like, what was your first experience as a DJ in this booth, in this space?
Well, I had a core group of people that had kind of latched on to Middle T, and I could look through the crowd and always like, I get the point, like, there's the house, there's this house, that house, that house, and I knew the people.
Right.
So I had that, like, kind of support, which, it's the support that people die for, and, like, the DJs kill for, and, like, it's the support that is harder to get in New York City. It's like, that's why I started being DJs, with that kind of love that I have and people have back, and like that's what everyone wants as a DJ, you know. And I'm so blessed to have it. I love Middle T. I love what I do in New York. I love traveling the world and DJing, and it's really fun. But as far as the changes too, I think that, you know, gay nightlife and gay music and gay dance, and it was really built on the struggle like that gay people went through when they moved to New York in the 60s and 70s, and that like helped form the house music scene. And you know, people were dancing sometimes just because they could keep dancing. You know, maybe they didn't want to, but if you could keep dancing tonight, maybe you could do something else tomorrow. You know, and I really feel that when I'm dancing, like when I'm dancing and the sun's coming up or whatever, I really feel that. I don't want to stop. I feel part of the struggle. Some people it's just a party. To me, it's like being part of gay history in the last 40, 50 years in New York City. And what's happening around...
What was the sound of Middle T? What was, like, when you started doing this, what was the niche of music that would be associated with Middle T?
Oh, I think
Middle T. What was it? What were you handing out on the platter that identified with you?
Well, I think that I have many identities, and I don't really have like a strong like sexual identity or any other kind of identity. I don't have an ethnic identity. I don't have a musical identity. I love all kinds of music. If I'm next to somebody who's enjoying music, I can read their energy. I may not like the song, but I'll read their energy. And I really try to... And Middle T's identity is kind of no identity. It's like, what was it? Am I sad today? Maybe it'll be some sad music. Am I angry? Maybe it'll be some angry music. And Middle T is like my personality going through the turntables as much as possible. And like, it could be like 7 Whitney Houston songs in a row, or it could be like, you know, a Queen song, a rock song, 50s rock.
But that's what I think identifies some Fire Island DJs. Personality is a big part of the DJ, because that's what people come for. They're coming for that person and what they're bringing to the table that night. So it's not like I just was saying, you know, Middle T, is there a Middle T sound? It isn't. It's about the personality who brings to the table what is happening that day, that night, season.
Well, I try to read the energy of the crowd too, and the energy of you know, if it's, you know, something terrible, Hurricane Irene in New York, like, play some turbulent music, you know, feel the energy of what's going on around you. Like, that's what I mean, that's what I do. And there's a lot of people out there, and I could just look at one corner and, like, maybe I'll feel that energy and see what they're doing. Like, maybe I won't even look there. Maybe I'll look at who's next to me, or the light guy, or who's standing up there, or maybe I just will feel the general energy of the crowd. Like, I have a weak musical identity, meaning maybe I have like too much, and Fire Island's about like pleasing the most amount of people at the most amount of time, get them in the door and get them dancing, get them sweating, and like I try to like bring that to Middle T.
I agree. Now what when the new changes are taking over, Seth, Andrew, Matthew, and this new platform was brought in to kind of bring back that balcony feel. What were your feelings about that? How do you think that added to the equation?
Well, I think that Andrew really, like his primary goal, amongst other things, one of his big goals is getting that, like, the feeling he got from the Pavilion back, like when he was like 23, and like, and who doesn't want that feeling when they're 23? And that's like, you know, his version of the Pavilion is like a staircase where you can look down on people. Yeah. You know, some person's version of like their 23-year-old Pavilion or their 20-year-old party identity is like what was playing at like on like Z100 when they were in 1990. Maybe it's like what was playing at the Roxy in '94.
Right.
And everyone has their identity of when they let go of their ego. You know, that's what I feel like. That's the year that people are inside.
There's a strong Pavilion core here who, you know, they did the late nights, they have the memories, they have the whole thing, and they do remember that, and I'll be honest, I was there, that idea of being able to be part of something when you weren't necessarily in it was a really great feeling. To be able to look down, still be part of it, but not have to partake in it, or you just took a rest from it. And that was one of the things, the mistakes I felt when they redid this Pavilion. They took away that voyeuristic part of it, and that was a big part of it.
I think so, and bringing the catwalk was a great idea, because also you're breathing in people's cologne, their beach, the sweat, the Jack Daniels, the Svedka vodka, whatever. Like, it's just coming up, and it's like, it's kind of like a little magical. You're breathing in magic. It's like just pure love and joy.
Exactly, and you're able to experience with them without necessarily sweating with them. So that was what the great thing that was.
It's like watching a porno.
Exactly, and it was great that he did bring that part of it back.
That's mandatory.
I felt it. I think he felt it very strongly when they took over this place. I'm sure that was like on the forefront of his mind to bring that feeling back.
I agree. I don't know. There's a point I wanted to bring up too that I don't know if any of the questions will lead to it, but I think it's important is that the gay, like, that's talking about the struggle before, but the gay, the sense to like latch on to a nightclub and lay roots and go there every night or whatever, that, like a big place, like a big nightclub, like, you know, Roxy or Octagon or Danceteria or, you know, Save the Robots, whatever your taste was, that desire to go to that place every week and lay your roots or every night, it's kind of like, I feel like that identity of a nightclub is dying, and I'm still glad Pavilion is like one of the clubs that's still here, because, you know, we're making new memories here, like.
They are, and I will say they're still trying to find their place with it. I think that there is an attachment to the late night scene, and that has evolved, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people will come out for that late night thing. I mean, they want to evolve that back and get people to come out late night because it was a culture.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, and I applaud them for trying to evolve that club mentality back to creating it. And we do have it here. We have a captured audience that we're still trying to find our way with, because people went out years ago to meet people. They don't need to go out to meet people anymore necessarily, because we have electronic devices that meet people.
Well, I think that a lot of people are trying to figure out the identity of what the Pavilion night is, but I mean, to me, maybe the Pavilion identity is what it's become. Like, maybe the Pavilion identity is middle T. Like, I'm not one to say. Like, to me, that's part of it's like identity and like things. I mean, I think that like the lose your shit kind of thing happens at Pavilion at night, and maybe, you know, Sip and Twirl is a little more like a quieter, friendlier bar. You know, like, to me. But when the night's over, I'm kind of done. I'm not like late night Fire Island person. I mean, I'm running around like going swimming at 5 o'clock in the morning in the water, and jumping in hot tubs, but that's for me a little bit more. Because I think the tea identity is really, and that's what Fire Island was to me. It was the tea, you know, it's low tea, middle tea, high tea. Maybe you're not, you know, sip and twirl, lean up, like that's all part of it. That's tea, you know. It's just, the other competitor is tea, which I don't want to promote too much, but you know, I'm friends with everybody here.
I agree. You know, Fire Island is about traditions. We're very, you know, connected to our traditions. So it is, you know, the gay bell rings and people come out of the woods for low tea, for high tea, for mid tea. I see it all the time. Can those traditions be tweaked? I think they can, and obviously, you know, this, you know, whole machine is about, let's be real, it is about to make money, and we need to elongate the night as much as we can. So I understand the concept of maybe evolving middle tea to a little bit of a later thing. I mean, I just off the top of my head thinking, you know, why does it start at 8? You know, probably should start at 9.
I think that I think that, like you said about tradition, is like when you're trying to tweak tradition, people are gonna get mad. Like, you need, traditions are tradition for a reason. Like, you try to change something, people are gonna get angry. And like, I think that it's a great idea to extend the middle tea. Middle tea should have, I should be passing the baton off to whoever is DJing the night, and we've done that a few nights. A few nights we said we're gonna do it, and then someone comes in and says it's gotta shut down, we gotta clean it up. I'm like, well, what do you want it to be? Like,
when does middle tea end? When does
it's supposed to end at 10, but usually we go to 10:30, 10:45.
Right.
Sometimes we end at 12:30. You know.
Right.
Sometimes I pass it on to whoever.